Dab him up.
It's actually try and get the perfectly Arnold Schwarzenegger.
we're gonna put that footage in. Welcome back to the channel. It's Middle Class Problems here. This is Aakash. I'm Lindo. That's Sherwin, and he's Aveshin. And this is going to be a part B on our. What is this again?
Sort of like a year in review podcast.
Yes, the year in review. Let us continue, gentlemen.
Okay. I think I'm gonna sort of just get back into it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So let's start off on like a bit of a interesting question. Name like some unusual or surprising experience you've had this year.
Unusual.
Or surprising, or something that like really kind of made you like go, huh?
Interesting.
There's a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So I bought a plant, right?
Oh, okay.
Now, the reason why like it's like so surprising to me is like I never wanted to buy a plant. I'm not a plant person. You know, and basically how this came about is that a friend of mine, a colleague at work, basically coerced me into getting a plant. Okay, I say coerce.
Coerce you how?
I say coerce, but she was really like, Linda, you should get a plant. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm never doing that. Then 2 weeks later, I got a plant. So,
Okay.
so the whole thing about it is like it surprises me because I'm taking care of a living organism, and it's like, and I'm happy every time it's happy, and it's like there's so many just little things that just really like surprise me about that. Also, the other thing is, you know, doing cooking, doing more karaoke. And then the thing that surprised me the most this year was like me speaking and doing poetry. Like,
Yeah, you did that.
and I was
Like in front of people.
and I was scared.
When did you do that?
About 3 weeks ago.
Where?
Third house poetry at Selective Live.
How did that go?
Um,
Was that the first time you ever?
that was the first time, and it was terrifying. I was just so nervous. And it's so weird. I was so nervous, but I'd done all these things to kind of bridge out and just be outstanding and everything. But there I was sweating, freaking panicking. I mean, even just talking about it again, it's just like, oh, that actually happened. And it's like, yeah. So that did surprise me. It's like, wow, like you really just breaking every barrier you ever had. And it's like, I never thought I could be a person who just breaks down the barriers that I've had from the past. So that actually, all of those things combined this year has been quite revealing, yeah.
That's such a a wholesome thing actually. And do you think you do it again?
No, we back. No, we back in poetry now. Like I think I'll speak with more poems. Yeah, there's some really talented writers, so I need to write better.
What is the? I'm assuming you wouldn't actually be able to tell, but like, what is the reception to your poem?
No, everyone was like, everyone was so thankful for me going up. You know, it's quite a heavy thing to do. Like, especially when you obviously write subject matter that is personal to you.
Yeah.
That always is the case. I mean, like, it in general with my poetry, like it's always kind of an interesting thing because like one of the reasons why I quit is because I felt like I was just like, how do I keep writing about stuff like it's without having that like artistic conflict. I actually don't know how other people deal with it, and I haven't asked. I should probably actually ask people because, like for a normal artist, right? If you're writing something very deep, how do you, and like your friends and family see that? How do they internalize that? How do they process
It is
it?
awkward. Like I think that type of thing is extremely like it's like a weird threshold that you need to be okay with passing, and like it depends on the art where it's a bit. Some is easier. So like take visual stuff like drawings and stuff like that. I feel like it's way easier, huh?
That can be a bit vague.
Yeah, I feel like it's way easier to share that stuff. But anything involving writing or music, especially with anything with lyrics or your actual thing, feels a lot more, as you said, personalized, and it does feel weird about like, the stuff you're going to be talking about usually is obviously based on some source material, which may or may not be associated or linked to actual people. And it's like,
Mm.
are they going to be able to tell this is about them, and then how are they going to feel about that afterwards? And I think you've like taken the first step and actually just doing it. I mean, I think you've taken the first step made a while ago when you started posting it on Instagram. Regardless of whether people could tell like what you were talking about, it's still like heavily personal things. So that's like you've already passed quite a big thing, like which is pretty difficult. So
yeah, I think it's a pretty big deal that you sort of express like such vulnerability publicly, and also like with your own voice. It's like it's quite nerve wracking. I've been to one of those events before, and it's like just standing there at the lights and people looking at you and like having this like expectation like, oh, he's gonna give us poetry right now. It's like it's scary because like one of the questions I want to ask you is like, when you're writing your stuff, do you like sometimes feel that you're not being different enough or special enough because you feel like it's been said before, and now you're putting it out there, and it's just the same thing being reiterated again?
If from special as in different people, like
no, like as it sets it apart from stuff that's been said before.
Like the theme of your poem, basically.
well, the theme's very much. It's always been the same theme for the longest time. I think in terms of that, I don't really think about that too much. I mean, if I'm sad, I'm sad. You know, like it is what it is. But I think I always try to make sure it's uniquely mine. Like
Okay.
I know there's lots of people who have like different flows and stuff, but I never want to like copy those people. I want to keep it mine, and the way that I use similes and metaphors and all of that stuff. I just want it to be mine. That like
Okay.
I did that. Like even if it's hard to interpret sometimes.
No, I think that's a really good way of putting it, and it's a good approach. Because I think like I'm not somebody that likes sort of quoting Instagram quotes, because I don't think it's like that.
what are you about to?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's like because it's stuff that I used to think about as well. Is there's so much of writing stuff that's out there in the world, and a lot of people write, a lot of people post stuff online, and it's like you have this fear sometimes, like, oh, okay, it's been spoken about already. What am I going to bring to it that's going to be different? And then I saw this one post on Instagram once, like a while back, which was like, so many people are afraid of saying stuff because they think it's been said before, and like the sort of nuance lies that it hasn't been said by you, and you don't know who's gonna like relate to the way you're saying it and the way you're putting it out there. So even though your stuff you think might be difficult to understand by other people, you'll never know who's gonna be like, damn, this guy gets it. Like, this is the guy that actually sort of puts it in a way that I understand.
That's actually why like. I mean, even a project like this, like the thing we're doing now, it's like, there's 10,000 podcasts out there. There's 10,000 everything out there. But like, someone's gonna look at us and be like, these guys, they don't release as often, and they work really hard and they do all these things, but they still manage to get stuff out. And someone's gonna be motivated by it. Someone's gonna be like, oh, that's pretty nice. Even some of my friends have said, we really like these episodes. Like, we really like it when you guys post. So yeah, it's like it's that type of thing.
No, I think it's a great thing. It's a great sort of step as well. It's like very brave thing.
Well, I feel like the natural progression here is that like we've been trying so hard to figure out, we need to figure out like music. We just shoot a music video for your poetry, like just a cappella, just speaking.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, because then it takes the pressure out. Because the thing is, you already know poetry. I already know how to make a music video. Neither of us really know how to make music, which is why we struggle with that. But like, just take that out and just do that.
Yeah, we could do a poetry album. Someone just.
Yeah, no, but like that'd be cool. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, it's like being invited to that patient conference this year.
Oh.
It's like a pretty big deal because
Which patient
maybe
conference?
give more
yeah,
backstory.
so yeah, it's like so I got invited to like a IBD patient conference, and
Maybe also say what IBD is.
no, it's like it's a bit of a basically it's inflammatory bowel disease that I have, which I've been diagnosed with for like the past 3 years, and it was a pretty like big deal for me to be like invited to that, because I've never met anybody else in person who had the same thing that I did. So that was huge to like actually be in a room with people that had like the same thing, and it's like speaking to them and like seeing that they had like similar struggles that I did, and like the similar worries that I did as well, was kind of like, it was a bit of a sort of giant perspective change, because one thing I kind of saw like where I fit with the entire spectrum of how people deal with the IBD, and it's like I have IBD and a bit of like back issues as well sometimes because there's like a bit of inflammation in my spine as well. But like they have like this entire array of stuff that's wrong, and I'm like, you're an incredibly strong person for dealing with this stuff, and it's like it's crazy. And in that conference, it's like I got a chance to actually speak about like IBD and mental health, which was pretty big because like I never thought that I would be like a voice for mental health in any way, which
Neither would I.
yeah, it's like it's insane, and and it's like standing there in front of all those people and like basically speaking to them about stuff that I experienced, making suggestions, and it's like that was a bit surreal to me. It's like, okay, I am here now. I'm talking about mental health and things to people, and because it's something that I struggled with for a very long time, and it's like this year specifically was when I was actually sitting and thinking about how much it affected me and how it affected like relationships and how I viewed the world and all of that stuff. And it was just a very big deal for me to see that that is something that I can do, and stuff that I'm going to do in the future as well is be that kind of like voice for it in some way. And yeah, it was just a giant experience to stand there, talk to people, and have that, and not it just being like a sort of sharing session. It's like speaking to relevant people who are going to like potentially implement changes that we have suggested in healthcare, where it's like one of the things that I spoke about is that when you're diagnosed, you're kind of just told the medical facts and they send you home. It's not like someone will tell you like, here, okay, you have this thing, but also you also have like, it's gonna affect you mentally. We're gonna give you medication that's gonna potentially work or not work for you, but the mental strain, no one really talks about it. And it's like, one of the suggestions we come up with is like, as much as you give the diagnosis, give like another suggestion of maybe you should speak to somebody, be more open, speak to parents, speak to family members and like friends and whoever that comes with the patient. Like this is very likely what they're going to experience, and how to sort of deal with that and how to be there for them and all of that stuff, because it can be very difficult sometimes to sort of feel alone when you're dealing with these things. And yeah, it was just a really different experience for me to be like on that level of like speaking to people who are going to take this to medical aids and like make this like almost a mandatory thing where you're given a diagnosis and you're also given this pamphlet with mental health advice. So that was kind of surreal in some ways.
Fair enough.
That's deep. That's deep. What are you doing to protect your mental health right now, though?
It's like I've become so much better at dealing with things, and like sort of, I don't know, it's like my way of thinking has changed so much this year about stuff, and it's like I think I've really sort of pinpointed what makes me feel good and helps me deal with things. So it's like being able to express myself better to people is one massive thing for me, is because they understand what I'm feeling, so, and then I can understand how they feel about something. So it's like that helps me a lot, because I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not always wondering, oh, what is this person thinking? What are they? Do they view me in a different way? Do they think of me like in a way that I don't agree with, or are they misunderstanding me? It's like getting that clarity from somebody was a big deal for me. Like just being able to communicate a bit better, because I know in the past I was very bad at that. Like I think a lot of stuff would like run out of anxiety, where I would assume somebody was doing something or speaking in a certain way, and I had no confirmation about that at all. So sort of becoming better at communication really helped. Also, I think it's like one big factor is that I'm very healthy right now, because I know that if I get sick again, I'm gonna feel terrible mentally as well. But it's like, because it's been like a bit of a roller coaster of like trying medication for about 3 years, and it's like this was the first year we found something that worked for a long period of time. So it's like actually having that sort of like surety in your life, like, oh, okay, I'm on this thing, it is working, I don't have to worry about the future, because it became really difficult to think about planning for the future. And like a very interesting way that I can put this is, I did actually go and speak to like a psychologist this year about this as well, and she was like, look, just based on how your health has been over the past 2 years, it's like you're living on this roller coaster, and it's like you're trying to get so much done in this period where you're feeling healthy that it's like you're constantly afraid of the pitfall of being unhealthy again. So it's like coming to terms with that realization and realizing like, okay, I can actually sort of plan for the future. I can like, sort of live like a normal life in some way. I don't have to rush to get everything done in a short space of time. It's a really big deal. So yeah, that stuff, and fighting helped a lot.
Never forget.
Yeah, I think it's like also exercise and dolphins, all that stuff with the fighting, but it's like I think it just changed my perspective and mental on many things. So yeah, that stuff, I read a lot, that helps. I think it's becoming more in touch with my hobbies and all of that. Big deal, because a lot of that stuff got neglected because I was sick, and it was like for the longest time, all of that stuff was what I was thinking. Was like, he's like, oh no, you're always sick, you're always doing this. It's like everything else just kind of falls away, and now it's like getting in touch with that again has just made me feel a lot better overall, because it's been sort of incredibly fruitful to just get in touch with things that I actually love doing again, and it helps a lot with my mental health. Yeah. Yeah, that's a mouthful.
Well, I don't have anything to fucking cover.
No, well done, man. Well done for overcoming all of that. I feel like you've come a long way, and you're gonna continue to go on the path.
Yeah, it's
Sorry, that sounded too motivational.
the path.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I think it's definitely something that I realize I'm actually passionate about. It's like speaking out about mental health and illness is a pretty big deal. So it might actually potential avenue for my future where I'm going to actually be a voice for it, and because I've already said I'm going to be part of their future conferences and stuff as well. So
Is this a backdoor plot to your YouTube channel?
pretty much. It's like it's a scene, sort of scenes from the next episode.
How about you?
Huh?
What about you?
I don't have anything in like.
I mean, it doesn't
level-
have to be like on the same
No,
level.
I know that, but
as I walk by. Keep going.
cool. I don't know. Like, see, I would have had it. I would have had an answer maybe about a week ago, whereas it's like, oh, I had finally got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm more present in what's going on, and like, not satisfied. That's the wrong word. But just like more present and like aware of what's happening,
Okay.
and not constantly looking at what the next thing is.
Mm.
But and that was going fine, and then now it's like, actually no, we're back on the train of like needing to know what's happening next.
Okay.
For it's like things seem pretty not out of control, but there's like a lot going on. So I don't really know. Like I would say that the unusual thing would have been me getting to that point of where I was okay with not looking for the next thing. But then, well, shit, here we go again.
Have you thought about like what was going on in your life at that point where you felt okay with being present?
Yeah, it was. Like, it was just that, like, things, like, in most aspects were like, fine for the rest, were fine for the rest of the year.
Okay.
And then, like, now we're getting to the end of the year, the new year is coming up, and it's like, oh, what am I doing again? Like, what are my plans? What am I trying to
I think
do?
having that feeling is kind of normal for this time of year, though.
Yeah, fair enough.
I also
Then,
think
yeah.
it's something that I've known you to always sort of think about as well. It's
Yeah.
like you do have this like drive to pursue things, and I think it's like you said, you don't want to use the word satisfied.
That's bad.
You're like you shy away from like content and satisfied and all that stuff, and it's like it's so.
Don't mind me.
Okay, I'll get my thought back. But yeah, it's like I think it's understandable that you feel that way. I think you are somebody that likes to sort of have a goal in mind. You like to sort of have this sort of thing to aim towards.
Pretty much.
So
Yeah, no,
you know,
it's nothing. It's not like it's bad or anything, but it's just that
It's not.
there was some point of where it felt less exhausting because it was like, okay, the entire plan was just to get to the end of the year. That was all. That was all. There was literally nothing else. And now it's like, oh shit, we're back in question mark land of
yeah,
but I feel it makes sense.
It does,
It's
'cause,
not
like,
bad.
especially
Yeah.
like stuff that's been happening.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's fine. It makes sense. It's just that, but yeah. On a lighter note, I'll say the thing that. What was your original question? Like
Something that
things
happened this year that was unusual or surprising to you.
I think I understood national pride.
Oh,
Like I
the box.
truly
Really?
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie. I
After
truly
the
think
World
I-
Cup victory, it was.
So yeah, we were in town. Like we were properly in town. We were in Greenpoint, the main road, and we were just walking around there. I truly think I understood like national pride. Like I swear, for that 1 or 2 hours, there was no racism, no crime. People were happy. Dude, the homeless people were happy and stuff. Like it was a bizarre.
You're a much different version from the one I met. Not much. Okay, not all that different, but like there's a lot more nuance now.
Sure. It's yeah. It's bizarre. Not like I'm now a fucking South African supporter or anything, but it's like I'm like, oh, I kind of understand the impact that these things can have on the country as a whole.
Yeah.
Like, practically affect outside of people that enjoy the sport just watching it. Like, it has like lasting impact over like period on people, just in general demeanor, mood, and stuff like that. It was really interesting to see, and it may have been one of the few times where you're actually walking through town, and everyone is happy, like everyone. Like it's such a
Yeah.
bizarre
Yeah.
place to be.
I would also say it was that only day that we felt safe enough to walk all the way from Greenpoint to home.
Yeah, we don't need to tell people where we
Random
live.
people will be greeting you.
Yeah, literally, you just walk through town. They were like,
Mm.
people trying to scrum
Yeah,
each
they were
other in
scrumming on the
middle of
road.
We even saw an accident happen, but it was chilled. Like a guy,
No, it was a fender
a
bender.
fender bender,
Fender
but
bender.
no one jumped out screaming and yelling.
Mm.
It was because as well, like so much shit was going on the road. But I was like, huh, damn, South Africa. Like maybe
Invictus 2?
I doubt it. Maybe I think this is a documentary coming, but I don't know. It was just that was interesting. So yeah, I think I understood the effect of that sports can have on like a country, even if you don't really care about sport. To be fair,
Mm.
rugby was kind of hype after I understood what was happening, and I would also say it probably is also related to. This could probably be said about any of the other teams as well, but I just don't know them. That they seem to have a lot of personalities in their
No
team.
character.
The rugby team. See, I don't really know anything about the South African, the cricket team, or the soccer team, or the female soccer team, and to judge. Maybe they also have those like characters that are all like really interesting people. I don't know, but apparently there were a lot of those people like in the South African rugby team that like was pretty interesting to see. So that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good
Yeah, we
answer,
saw two
actually.
groups approaching each other, and then you wanted to just scrum.
Yeah, but not like in a violent way, like a casual,
Like a celebratory.
You saw it
a
like
celebratory way.
let's scrum them, and
Celebratory.
So yeah, it was weird. Very interesting.
Yeah, I think I completely get it because I came home. I was like, hey, how much cash you got? So
Yeah, you went and bought a Springbok cap.
Because people are only taking cash. So I came home. I picked him up. We drove all the way back to Claremont so I can buy his cap from a street merchant.
yeah, we were trying to get merch for the game. Like we've never wanted South African like sports merch before.
No,
Like
I want a
we need
Springbok
this.
jersey.
What is happening? What is actually happening? I'm so confused. I'm lost now.
We understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do it for fun.
It was
Yeah, go Boca.
Mm.
That's pretty hype.
I don't know.
Yeah, you stalled enough.
Like,
Um,
I can't. Surprising and unusual. Like, there's nothing coming to mind at all. Like the stuff that definitely happened this year, and like things that I learned and stuff about myself, but nothing that caught myself off guard or I had to take a step back and be like, huh, I didn't think that would happen.
So like nothing that happened this year that like you didn't like say Sherwin this time last year didn't expect to have happened this year.
I don't think so actually. I don't think that's a bad thing.
No,
You
it's
have
not.
great foresight.
Yeah,
You have
incredible.
great foresight.
Got our own Nostradamus around
It could have
here.
been something like that like I wanted to happen. So it's not like so in my head I already thought it's going to
That was like
happen.
more goal. Okay.
Okay.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
interesting.
I think the thing that could have been surprising was just like the time of it happening. Like maybe I thought it would happen a bit later in the year instead it happened maybe earlier,
Okay.
stuff like that.
I
But
mean that's also an avenue you can talk about. Something that you think happened a bit sooner than you expected.
I mean, leaving my old job was a big one.
Okay, yeah.
That felt like a good,
Mm.
like a solid rut in my life, like
Mhm.
a good time sink of just
Hey,
nothing.
If anybody here gets you, it's me.
Like, I mean, it wasn't a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
I definitely learned something, I'm sure. There's definitely some soft skill that I've learned there. Maybe choose your jobs wisely next time.
It's a message to all the kids. out there.
Yeah.
Just choose better. Be better.
Yeah, read through the job marketing, you know? Just see through the guys.
Look, they got me as well. I'm just glad we're both out of it at this point. So, yeah.
But yeah.
Fair enough.
That is very fair.
Yeah. Okay, so something like a bit more lighthearted. Basically, if our lives in 2023 had an anime opening, what song would be the intro theme? Also describe them in the opening if you'd like to.
Wait, what? You want to know what song?
Would be in the intro.
Anime opening. That's
It's like a
Or
real
TV show.
It can be any song. It doesn't have to be an anime song.
Any song you like.
Oh, see, okay, that's what I was misinterpreting.
Mm.
I'm like internally scrolling through.
I have 11 months of playlists to go through.
Okay.
Do you have an answer?
I think it's gonna be multiple openings for the year.
Is there gonna be a sim
For
song
different
in there?
arcs?
Yeah.
For-
I think it's like it changes like of course with moods and everything like that. But
Okay, give us for the.
do you remember there was a time we were driving home and then you played the Alan Walker song?
Fate. Oh, the new one.
The new one.
The Better Off Alone.
Yeah, I think that would have been like a good opening for that period of life, and then Faded would have been the end credits.
The credits.
for that track.
Who would have thought Alan Walker would be the one?
Alan Walker, man. He made a comeback.
Okay, what's a good song for the opening of the new year?
Next year?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see how my fight goes. And Daisies.
Wait, are we talking about this year?
No, yeah, 2023.
Oh.
Well, the first half of the day was rough, so yeah.
So yeah, what
song would
what song is
encapsulate
there?
your opening?
I don't know. I just because like I know like the second half of the year like the song Number One Candidate by Ants Live like the
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
he does UK he does the UK thing, you get me. Anyway, yeah, no, that song's pretty nice. Like he basically says he's like number one. Obviously, he's a rapper.
Okay.
They do those things, but it's actually a very nice song. First off, I don't know. That's just very cold. So I don't know. It's very tough.
Okay, silence. Okay. We got it. It's just a silent opening. Yeah, you guys?
There's too many songs, man. Also, I struggle to remember what happened.
And that part.
No, what happened. It's also like what music is linked to this year.
It doesn't have to be like.
No, then you can make it worse. Then you can make any music of all time.
Any music of all time that fits like some part of your life this year, or an opening song. Damn, I don't think this question was gonna be
Songs
this
of
difficult.
only recent series you've watched.
Series.
Okay, let's narrow it down to anime openings.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. If that makes it easier.
Okay, thanks.
Honestly, I feel like also like the opening for the current season, the first arc of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, I was
Amazing.
The same thing.
It's
It's
like
so
really good.
Amazing.
It's like it fits pretty well like how life has been for us.
That was gonna be my
Collective.
first choice for
Yeah.
the opening.
Because we've just been like doing really fun stuff recently, and it's like they just look like they're having a great time
Until they won't.
until they want.
But you don't know that in the opening.
You don't-
Okay? You don't know that. It's just happy time.
Yeah,
Like they go
It's
there
actually
smiling,
fair.
everyone's happy.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I like the second one.
Yeah.
Of what you mean now?
Special.
You are my special.
Yeah.
It is pretty vibey. I like the
Yeah.
end credit song more.
Yeah, I do as well.
I don't know, man. Like I got nothing.
That-
Music
the
questions
question
are
seems a
really
bit-
hard. I have
yeah.
so many
Actually,
things going
honestly,
on.
I didn't think it was gonna be that difficult, but anyway, it's okay.
Yeah.
Wait, give us yours. What's yours?
I said it already.
What's your end song? Oh, the Alan Walker.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
go to the next question.
Okay. Well, back to the deep stuff then. What's some interesting things you've learned about yourself over the past
Oh
year?
my god. The Introspect podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are gonna know about us today.
You want me to go first again?
Go for it. Yeah, sure.
I think this is like the first year where I sort of really sat and like asked myself the question of like why, like I sort of did certain things, why I thought a certain way, why I sort of had certain perceptions that I did, and it's like actually finding the answers to that question, and honestly finding those answers, because I think like it's really easy to sort of give an answer that you think represents you very well, but then being a really honest answer with yourself, like being super honest with yourself, really gives you some really raw details about who you are as a person. And it's like just drawing back to the thing where we spoke about earlier in the podcast of like that idealistically good person and how I felt like I didn't fit into that role. And it's like obviously everyone has their own idea of what an idealistically good person is, and I think my idea of that was like the always sort of showing up, always self-sacrificing, always essentially meeting every single role, meeting every single need and want of the people around you. It's like, you're never falling short of anything, and it's like asking myself like, why did I want to appear that way? And that's the thing, is like I wanted to sort of appear as that person who was like always good and all of that stuff. And it's like understanding that there's a difference between like trying to be idealistically good and then being genuinely good and kind was a big deal for me, because I think there is a difference. And it's like, obviously I want to try and be like a genuinely kind and good person, but it's like also coming to terms with the fact that there are days when I need time for myself, and I need to like sort of just pull away and process things, and there's times when I have a tough time as well. Like I can't always pretend like I'm doing okay, and it's like just sort of.
Do you think those are mutually exclusive?
I think my idea of idealistically good is like never faltering.
Yeah, but then but by you even saying idealistically good, that already means like non-real.
So I think I strived to be that level of it.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about now.
No, not now.
Oh.
That's why I said like genuinely kind is like also accepting like the imperfections that come with it.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's like coming to terms with the fact like I can't always make the perfect decision or say the perfect thing or make the perfect move, and all of that stuff has been a pretty big deal for me.
That is so
Yeah,
true.
and it's like it doesn't mean that I'm not a good person if I can't do that, because like I'm still gonna try to be good and kind to people, and it's like coming to terms with that. It's like it's many different points that I'm gonna try and be a bit concise about, but it's like understanding that about myself and realizing like, okay, I have this sense of understanding. And I think another big thing was that by understanding myself better, I became a lot more open to understanding other people a lot better as well. It's like coming to terms with my own ignorance about things was a big deal, and it's like understand that my perceptions are very different from somebody else's. It's like it's so easy to just ask a question like, oh, what are you feeling? What are you thinking about this? And it's like it's going to be so different from what I'm thinking about it. And it's like trying to reach that level of understanding has been pretty big, because I think it's such an interesting thing, is because I would say the sort of goal or the outcome I was trying to get to by trying to be idealistically good, and clearly when I was trying to do that, it's like things would backfire. I would make mistakes, I would hurt people, I would say things that would come across as like just being incredibly out of touch, and which I found kind of a bit of a mismatch, because if you're trying to be idealistic in something, it's like those things shouldn't happen, but they were happening a lot. So I found that now when you try to be like genuinely kind of be a bit more vulnerable and honest about things, it's like my relationships with my friends improved, my relationships with my family improved, and I make friends so much more easier now, and it's like it's just been a really like good experience for me to come to terms with that and sort of understand myself a lot better in those regards, and my passions, what I like, and just make that attempt to understand other people as well. And obviously I think it's easy to sit here and just say all of these things, but I think like the true fruit of it will be like how I interact with the world and people and everything in between. And it's like I would hope that the stuff sort of reflects in those aspects of life, because I think it's so easy to say like, oh no, I am different, I am changed, but it's like I think the only way that's actually going to be sort of proven is if I sort of naturally just show that whenever I interact with anything, and I hope that that is the case. I don't know, I'm just going to try my best.
Fair enough.
That was a lot. Yeah, only time will tell. That was ominous, sorry.
Yeah,
No, only time will tell. You don't know what this man gonna do. Lose his fight, start stabbing people. I don't know how he's
Yeah,
gonna
after this fight, let's what happens.
Yeah.
Changes into a complete different character. Sherwin, what about you?
For this year, I think it's something that has always been on my mind, but I think it's been fully solidified in my head this year. Like realizing the fact that you only keep so many people fully in your lives. Like you can have like a whole bunch of people that you care about and want to be in contact with, but there's only so many you can actually truly keep in your lives and be in contact with often and know what's happening. At a certain point, you kind of have to choose your people and who sort of matter to you most, and then give your attention to them instead of giving 10% to everyone else. And like splitting it across everyone, instead of choose your people and then give those people your full attention, sort of thing.
Yeah, I've been finding that really difficult.
So-
I've been finding that difficult this year.
Because I've always found I've always held my friendships in high regards. That idea of having to sort of not cut people off, but sort of acknowledge the fact that they may not always be in your life, or let them go, or they may not be you may not be, or they may not be as close to you, or you as close to them as you have wanted. It's something that I initially struggled a little bit with coming to terms with.
Same. I think I've come to the realization that that's not the thing I learned this year, but like on your point, like I'm spread so thin in terms of like friendships that certain people almost feel neglected, but it's like, you know, there's the friendships, there's myself as well. So it's like, you know, you kind of have to protect that. Like you have to protect yourself at all costs. Like because you have to think about yourself first and foremost. So I think you know, there are people that you know, I'd say in life that are like very patient. They understand. They know, okay, this person's not like this is how this person's life operates, and you know, some people fall away, some people will re-enter. That's just how it is.
Yeah, it's like some friendships generally might just always be surface level friendships. Like
Yeah.
not in a bad way. It's like you'll see each other maybe when you go out, and it's cool when you'll hang out, but that's what it'll always be, and that's fine.
And that's actually normal.
I get it. I think it's like similarly says like I related back to that idea of like the idealistically good, where it's like if you sort of take some time to sort of pick yourself and like, okay, look, I can't spread myself so much. I need to give time to what I like, you know, my priorities and certain people, and it's like it becomes very difficult to make those choices of like who is important, what's important, all of that. It's like can come across as selfish, but it's really not. It's like it is in some extent, but you're human at the end of the day, and like you can't be everywhere all the time, and you can't give all of yourself all the time. Like you need some time to actually just level out and make your choices.
Yeah, fair enough.
How about you?
Oh shit. I think I struggle with that as well, but not just on the friend level, on the everything level. I don't like dropping things at all. So then it becomes exhausting. And as you would know, I have a very large friend group, and it feels very difficult to like keep it not alive, but to like see, like to vibe check everyone, because like you can't, like it's way easier than I thought to not see someone that you consider like a really good friend for like 3 months. And it's like, and it's not for like people not trying, it's like people are just hella busy, like everyone's just busy, and it's just like, oh shit, that's just like normal, that's just how it'll work.
I think I relate the same because like if I look at you guys, it's like we didn't hang out this much this year at all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's like because it's like I know I have good standing with you guys, so it's like okay, you know, that's good, and like there's no issue. It's just you're right.
People are busy. Yeah, people are busy. Like straight up, people are just busy. I mean, I actually had this conversation with one of my friends at work on Friday, where he was like, if it's like we obviously really get along. We've known each other for a long time. We consider each other really good friends. But it's like if we didn't work together, he said like he thinks our friendship would probably just fizzle out because neither of us are great at like texting people, and it's like yeah, that's kind of sucky. But I'm like, I feel like we would try to see each other, I guess. Yeah. But it is true though. Like a lot of it is scenario based. Like
Sorry, sometimes life really just does get in the way.
Yeah. This is Instagram quote. But no, really, it is like it is bizarre. Like these people you consider really close, but you just can't see them. So there's that part, which again it becomes kind of exhausting when you try to like keep these threads alive, and it's like it does feel like a chore sometimes. Like to be honest, to like do that. But then also like if you don't do it, then it's like shit. It is obviously both people's responsibility, but then it's like, well, if you're not doing it, why should they bother? So that becomes quite a thing. But then,
I know people want to say, oh, but I should be a priority and blah 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 and all this, but it's like you can't look at it that way. You can't be like, well, I've known you for like 5 years, you know, I'm a priority. It's like that's not really the case. Like you're still an individual. I'm an individual. You know, you have to go and establish something for yourself. And I know, like, we live in a society now where it's like very hyper individualistic, and you know it's prone towards that. But it's like that's how it's played out. That's how it's played out, and we can't always be in each other's spaces all the time, considering how draining everything can become very quickly, because we're surrounded and inundated by everything all the time. And I think people don't realize that. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was this year that my energy levels, they go down very quickly. Like I just feel like there's just too much. I just get too much information every day. Considering the industry I work in, I just get flooded with information from that. So when I walk away from that, then I have to go see my personal life, and then flooded with that information as well. It's like there's just too much information that I'm working with all the time, and people be like, "Oh, but why don't you just relax, take a walk on the beach?" It's like you think taking a walk on the beach is gonna solve the problem? No, I'm still thinking about these things because my industry requires me to obviously think about how to secure things all the time. If I take 2 weeks off, I might as well just start from scratch, because that's just how it is. Like you just lose track of things. So yeah, like people don't really consider how involved someone's life can actually get.
I think people whose lives are also as busy get it. That's at least that's been my experience. The people that I don't see for a while, that are obviously busy, and then we do see each other, it's like, oh, like nothing has changed. It's just people were busy. But that hard, maybe not really sure how to. I don't think I've fully come to that point yet where I've been okay. Like, okay, these are the people, or like these are the things. It kind of makes sense. Like I can't even drop any hobbies either, which again would be great if I did. I would just have time to do
Other ones.
one thing, but I really don't want to, and it's probably shooting myself in the foot. But why I'm exhausted all the time, I don't know. But like, maybe.
Man's burnt out.
Bro, I'm tired. I'm tired.
Again. That's the most real thing that's been said in today's episode.
I'm tired.
Yeah,
Think about that. Are you saying like your job, and then you have to do your personal life stuff, and then that's already so. Your job takes up 1/3 of your day, right? Like at least, because that's without you coming home still thinking about it. And then it's like your social life. I don't know. That takes up whatever. But then it's like your own stuff. Like, dude, just cooking, doing chores. Try and exercise consistently. Holy shit, the day is just
Gone. Yeah.
load shedding. What the fuck? And now it's like where? And then it's like, okay, plus all of that. Then I'm like, okay, I want to do photography stuff, YouTube stuff, drawing stuff, music stuff. Trying to learn Korean, reading books. Where? How do you?
We agree with you.
No, I know that is why it's like unless you like fucking eat a bao on every day, like where do you get how do you make more time?
Like for me, with my friends at this point, at best I just send people memes. At best, like that, just send someone a meme, send something funny, someone will respond in 2 to 3 days, they laugh, then oh, we good. That's basically that's the gist of it. That's the gist of it in most cases.
So a lot of the time on the weekends now, I find myself not wanting to do stuff, just so I can have time to do stuff on my own.
That's why the Sunday, I'm trying to keep Sundays as no event day. Like just I kind of want to be a vegetable.
I think that's like the best approach, like having a bit of organization and setting time aside for yourself to do the things that you want to do. And even for friends as well, I think it's like making that distinction of, okay, maybe we don't speak much more, but making plans to actually see each other. But again, that itself is difficult.
It is hard. Like I swear, again,
really
the group of like friends that I started work with, like we see each other at work every now and then, but we always try to like have dinner at least once every few months. We have rescheduled dinner last month 3 times already, because it's just like
it's difficult.
Getting 5 people to be available on one evening, way harder than you think it is.
Everyone's
like
busy.
I wonder how often we'd see each other if we all live separately. Because after Lindo moved out, like the occurrences of us seeing him.
Yeah.
Very low.
It's also like I think I spoke to one of my friends about this recently, and she was like, generally when you meet people and you sort of become closer, you're going to have this period where you're going to be speaking much more frequently. When you get to know a person, and then after a while, it does drop significantly, and it's like doesn't take away from the closeness. It's just that the frequency of you guys speaking is much less, but at the same time, it's like if you do see them again, it's like, oh, nothing, like you said, nothing has really changed. It's just that people do get on with their lives, and it's like that's, I think, is what I would sort of approach to, making the distinction that he was talking about of picking people or picking things that you find like yours. I think I just have a lot. It's easier for me to find making peace with making those choices than you do, because I think it's like I spend time thinking about stuff like, okay, this is a hobby that I like, but do I actually want to drop it or keep it going forward? And it's like, we spoke about this before, like things that you just find interesting, and then there's things that you feel like actual compulsion to do. And it's like I find it a bit easier now to make that distinction, so I know, okay, I find this one thing really interesting, but I know that I'm not going to put as much effort into learning about it or doing it. So it's like I don't feel as spread thin in those areas. So yeah, I think it's like I find it a bit easier to make that distinction, and knowing that, okay, certain people are my priorities and certain people are still a priority but a bit less. So I find it a bit easier to make that choice. So
yeah, fair enough.
Because I think it's like I would hope that they would understand, because, and if they don't, then I would love to have a conversation with them, and hopefully we can reach some kind of understanding, because like I said, their perception of it might be completely different from mine. They're like, oh, this guy's being a dick.
Yeah, fair enough, actually.
Yeah, so yeah.
Okay, what else you got?
That's it for now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so unless anybody else has like anything they would like to ask, or
This is a year roundup.
yeah.
2023 is almost over.
Almost over.
There's a few episodes left, few movies and stuff to happen. But like,
Daisies.
yeah, we have the
Daisies.
Daisies episode, we have the New Year's Eve episode, we have the Durban episode. We have the Durban episode, we have the return from Durban episode. There's a few things happening.
We're all going to be
But-
German at the same time.
I'm not sure.
I think there'll be an
I'm gonna be-
overlapping period.
There'll be an overlap. I'm not there for long.
Okay.
But what 2024? What do you want?
We're going to shoot more. We're going to film more. We're going to... I'm joking.
No, I do it.
I do.
I know.
Skits.
Yeah.
It's content. Skits.
I
What do
do.
you want? Anything you want.
So
We can
the thing-
produce it. We can make it.
I don't know where the recording stopped, but
But
it's
yeah, just
yeah,
go again.
basically 2024. What do you want to goal? I don't know. It doesn't necessarily have to be MCP related. Just what do you
Well-
have any plans? So what do you want to achieve? I don't know.
New career, move out, form of.
New career.
I mean, new job. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were pretty. Well, this, yeah.
Yeah, there's whole uncertainty at the company. And,
Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah. What?
You
Move
said
out,
move out,
move out.
new career.
The whole food item thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a big like
Food
good
item.
isn't it?
We gonna come up with 2 items of like food, preferably like I don't know, bao, whatever really. Make them figure out how to make them really well, then a set amount of time, and we're gonna sell it.
No, I'm here for it.
Try and
Uber
ghost
Eats.
try and ghost kitchen it like just to see how doable it is. It might be, it would be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the food content as well for the channel.
Those are 4 really big things.
Those are incredibly huge.
4 big things.
Think from my side with in terms of the channel, I'm not gonna joke. I think I want 1,000 subscribers, guys.
Oh.
Not by next year, but I definitely want that. That's like at least.
I think again. I think it depends on what we upload and how like I'm just like I have ideas. I just don't know if I can take them from my brain and actually do them. If we can do the things that I think we can do, I think that's easy. I think we easily get it. It's just the thing is we are 4 working professionals,
Yeah.
which is the part that is the big card that's up in the air out there. But I don't think it'll be from a lack of trying or from a lack of content ideas. It'll be from a lack of time to do it. But I'm with you. I would like to do that as well.
My own goals, I haven't really thought about it all that much. I think because I'm entering a new job and it's gonna require a lot more from me in terms of like I need to give my life more balance. Like I need to be more intentional with my time and the way I'm doing things, because at the moment, I've been doing this sort of freestyling thing. So my whole goal is to achieve like if I want to go to the gym, I have to start scheduling things in a lot better. So yeah, that the goal for next year is to be more organized.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense. You?
I think you also
Better
said something like
management,
that
you would say.
What?
Better manage, yeah, better time management.
Kinda. I think. Yeah, maybe it's like
Instead of being like reactionary, you can be more.
Yeah, it does feel like when it comes to points when I actually have time, it's like, oh, here's the 13 things I've been wanting to do, and then it's like, shit. Then I just end up watching YouTube because it's actually too difficult to pick anything.
Same.
Yeah,
I do the same thing.
It's
Just
actually
like
too hard. The thing is, it's gotten so shit that, like, I find like even starting a TV show or movie that I want to watch
Like
too
daunting.
hard.
Yeah.
I'd rather than go watch
Yeah.
a podcast on YouTube. Like I will, I'm like procrastinating watching a TV show because that seems too hard. Like
It seems like a commitment.
it seems too
Yeah.
difficult. But so I think it's more about like I need to start being like okay, like set up for like the week. I know I'm gonna have time here. For these 2 hours, I'm just gonna draw or something. Or for these hours, I'm gonna try and do music stuff. Like and then it's already planned. Whether it's working or not doesn't matter. For 2 hours, I'll force myself to do it. That's the only way to do that. In relation to that, though, I'll finally have the equipment that I require, which is my camera. I want to film at least one music video that I have full control over. I think I can. Shouldn't be difficult. I just need to find someone that'll let me do it, and that's one. And try and like I don't want to say I want to do this because the idea's been floating around for a while. I had thoughts of doing like my own YouTube channel, but I'm struggling with what I would want to do with it.
join the club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, fine.
yeah.
I mean, you're already doing poetry and stuff, so, and your comedy content, so it kind of like you have direction of it. I have like there's nothing, but music video, and just more like I want to do actual more like photography and cinema, or like actually start getting paid for photography, like where it transitions from hobby into like actual side job. That'll be cool.
I thought about that.
I'm like super keen to like start doing that, and then just get my foot in the door of being able to do stuff like that, and yeah, maybe make a song. That'd be cool.
I
Those
do
two
want
are
to make.
also big things.
No, like me and Avesh, I really want to make a song. Like it's just, it's becoming a dream at this point. Like it's becoming a point where it's like it's something that I want. Like I want this thing, and I want it to be done properly. Like
See, I think we need to do the same thing of like okay, we meet, and for the next 4 hours, this is all we do. Like we force ourselves to do it. I don't want to catch up with you. I don't want to know what you're doing in your life. I don't care. We are going because that will take 3 hours of the time.
It
We
would.
need to actually just sit there and try and do that. Like just again, more scheduled, intentional thing.
Yeah,
okay, that's cool.
for me, I think it's going to be another big year because like I changed my job.
New job.
So I have a new job, and it's like I think for the first time in my life, I applied for a job that I really wanted to do. It wasn't just like, oh, I just started university and I have these skills and I think this would work. It's like I might actually have a job that I'm passionate about now, which is a pretty big deal for me because I was like, damn, I care.
Yeah, that'd be cool to find that as well.
So it's like finding that and like seeing how that's gonna go and sort of navigating life with that going forward. It's gonna be pretty exciting for me because it's nice to be passionate about something and then
It's a big leap in workload and responsibility.
it is, and I'm not like shying away from it. I'm actually really eager because I just think it's like there's times in like my life where I felt like things just feel right, like this was sort of where you should be, and it's like this is one of those really rare times I'm like, damn, I'm at the right place. I'm exactly where I should be, and really excited for that. And I think like we spoke about it earlier in the video where it's like I do want to actually create content about sort of speaking about my illness and how much I struggled with it and like how it was like so difficult for me to get to this point of being a bit more at peace with it and speaking to other people about it, because one of the things that I spoke about at the conference was when I initially got diagnosed, it was like the first thing being like kids of the internet, you're going to go onto Google and try and find as much information as you can. And because we are like on Reddit as well, like I feel like it's a really good place where you can get people's opinions. But again, it is Reddit. You're gonna find Redditors on
You
it.
find
so
all the
Yes.
all kinds
all
of
ends.
people. So like a lot of content about IB is incredibly negative, and it's like people always kind of post these like really horror stories about their experiences and how it's like always not working out for them. And then I was incredibly anxious at that time and incredibly scared because I was like, oh, is this going to be my future? Is this like I'm going to have to resign myself to this life? And I wasn't going to live like a essentially normal life, and which turned out to be not true because I think I've lived a pretty normal life going forward. Like I've had as much ups and downs as many people in their 20s have had. So yeah, and so I came across one specific comment on the thing, which was like, if you're looking for positivity, remember the people that are out there living their life are out there living their life. They're not on Reddit posting about it. And so I think it would be a really good positive sort of thing where I would actually talk to people and maybe even speak to other people who also struggle with the same thing and see if I can make content around that. Because again, it's something that I think I'm very passionate about and would love to sort of share with the world as well. And one thing that I do realize that I want to really do is like I don't have a creative hobby, or I don't have a creative hobby that I spend as much time on, as much time doing as I would like, and I really want to focus on that next year because I think I have really good ideas, but I just really struggle to put it down on paper because I am afraid of what I was like sort of telling you about before. Is like it's been said before, like what's so different about me saying it now? So that's like something I also want to focus on. So yeah.
Remember, you're what's different.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, that's that for 2023.
It's been a year.
It
has
is,
been a year.
Everyone is tired. Okay,
Yeah.
the next podcast will not be as introspective or sad. But yeah, until next time, there will be more content. We're just not gonna tell you when, because we don't know you. But we're trying. But yeah, cool. Goodbye.
How do we dab the camera?
If you want to dab your camera, go for it. I don't.
Thanks for watching.